Along the rugged northwestern edge of Europe stretches a long, thin nation of staggering natural beauty and astonishing wealth. Norway, home to only around 5 million people. This is the land of the fjords, those deep, mirror-still arms of the sea, of the dancing northern lights, and of the fearsome Vikings who once sailed from these shores. Today it is one of the richest, happiest, and most spectacular countries on the entire planet. And in football, it has a new superstar the whole world fears. This is Norway seen from above. Welcome to Aerial Atlas. Norway covers around 385,000 square kilometers, draped down the western side of the Scandinavian peninsula in an extraordinarily long, narrow shape. Down its spine run the Scandinavian mountains, and its western edge is shredded into one of the longest and most intricate coastlines on Earth, riddled with islands and deep-sea inlets. To the east lies Sweden, with Finland and Russia to the far north, and much of the country lies above the Arctic Circle, in the realm of ice and endless light. Norway's defining wonder is the fjord. Carved by mighty glaciers during the ice ages, these deep, dramatic valleys flooded by the sea are framed by towering cliffs and tumbling waterfalls. The Fjord and the Fjord are UNESCO treasures, and the Fjord stretches over 200 kilometers inland. High above them perch some of the most thrilling viewpoints anywhere: the flat cliff of Preikestolen, the Pulpit Rock, and the jutting ledge of Trolltunga. In the far north, the sky itself puts on a show. Through the long, dark winter, the aurora borealis, the northern lights, shimmer in curtains of green and violet across the polar night. And in high summer, the sun never sets at all, bathing the land in the eerie glow of the midnight sun. This is the home of the indigenous Sami people and their reindeer, of the city of Tromsø, and of the jagged, achingly beautiful Lofoten Islands. Norway's history thunders with the Vikings. From the late 700s, these Norse seafarers exploded out of Scandinavia as raiders, traders, and explorers, striking terror across Europe in their sleek longships. They sailed further than anyone, and the Viking Leif Erikson reached the shores of North America around the year 1000, some 5 centuries before Columbus. Their gods, Odin and Thor, and their epic sagas remain one of the most enduring legacies in all of European culture. Modern Norway's astonishing wealth flows from the sea in the form of oil. When vast reserves of oil and gas were discovered beneath the North Sea in 1969, this once modest fishing nation was transformed into one of the wealthiest on Earth. Wisely, it poured the profits into a sovereign wealth fund that has grown into the largest in the world, worth well over $1 trillion, a vast nest egg owned by the people, safeguarding the nation's future for generations to come. The capital is Oslo, a relaxed, green city set at the head of its own fjord, crowned by a striking white opera house that rises from the water like a glacier. On the west coast sits Bergen, the gateway to the fjords, famous for the colorful wooden houses of its old Hanseatic wharf, the Bryggen. Across the country, that celebrated Scandinavian sense of clean design, cozy comfort, and harmony with nature shapes everything from the buildings to the way of life. Norwegians have a profound, almost spiritual love of the outdoors, a concept they call friluftsliv or open-air living. This is the birthplace of modern skiing and a nation that heads for the mountains at every chance. A cherished law, the right to roam, lets anyone wander freely through the wild countryside, and families treasure their simple cabins, the hit, tucked away in the forests and fjords. Here, nature is not a destination, it is home. From the sea also comes the food. Norway is the largest exporter of salmon on the planet. Its cold, clean fjords ideal for farming the prized fish. The country's deep fishing heritage lives on in its love of seafood, while more unusual delicacies include brunost, a sweet caramel brown cheese, and lutefisk, dried cod cured in lye. And like its Nordic neighbors, Norway runs on an almost bottomless devotion to good, strong coffee. By almost every measure, Norway is one of the best places on earth to live. It sits perennially at the very top of the world's rankings for human development and happiness. It is a society built on deep trust, low corruption, and a fierce commitment to equality between rich and poor, and between women and men. And it is a nation of peace. Every year in Oslo, the Nobel Peace Prize is awarded to the world's great peacemakers. For such a small country, Norway has given the world a great deal of culture. It produced the composer Edvard Grieg, the playwright Henrik Ibsen, and the painter Edvard Munch, whose haunting work The Scream is one of the most famous images ever made. Its folklore teems with trolls lurking in the mountains, and in modern times it has exported everything from the pop of a-ha to a famously dark and thunderous heavy metal scene. And then there is football, where Norway is enjoying a thrilling new dawn. After far too long away from the game's biggest stage, the national team has roared back, driven, above all, by Erling Haaland, the unstoppable goal-scoring machine and one of the finest strikers the sport has ever seen. Alongside the elegant captain Martin Odegaard, Haaland leads a golden generation, carrying the hopes of a nation at last to the 2026 World Cup. A long, wild nation of fjords and northern lights, of Vikings and vast riches and a new footballing giant. That was Norway from above. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribe. Here on Aerial Atlas, we fly over a new country every day.